Okay, so I need to tell you something, and honestly, I've been sitting on this for days trying to figure out how to even explain what's about to happen tomorrow. Because May 17th isn't just another day. Something massive is brewing in the sky, and if you've been feeling off lately, like there's this electric tension in the air that you just can't shake, there's a very real reason for that. Tomorrow, Mercury and Uranus are colliding in the sky at the exact same degree, and I know that might not sound like much if you're not super into astrology, but stay with me here. This isn't just any planetary alignment. This is the kind of cosmic event that I believe completely rewires how we think, how we connect, and how we see the world around us. And here's what really gets my attention. People are already starting to feel it. The shift is happening right now, even before the exact moment hits. If you've been experiencing sudden flashes of insight, random mental breakthroughs, or this overwhelming urge to speak your truth without holding back, you're not imagining it. You're already inside the energy field of what's coming. But there's one specific thing about this alignment that almost nobody is talking about, something that's going to affect your relationships in a way you might not see coming. I'm going to break that down for you later in this video, so make sure you stay until the end. First though, I need you to understand what's actually happening tomorrow, because the more I've researched this, the more I realize this could be one of the most significant days of the entire year for mental breakthroughs and unexpected revelations. Tomorrow is when everything accelerates. So here's the thing most people don't realize about planetary transits. They don't just happen in one isolated moment. There's always this build-up, this energetic pressure that starts days, sometimes even weeks, before the exact alignment. And right now, we're in the final hours of that build-up. For the past couple weeks, the energy has been really heavy, right? We've been anchored in Taurus, slow, methodical, grounded. The kind of energy that makes you want to protect what you have, hold on to security, resist any kind of change. And honestly, I've been feeling it too. There's been this stubbornness in the air, this need to keep things exactly as they are. But tomorrow morning at 6:30, Mercury crosses into Gemini, and everything shifts instantly. The energy goes from slow and earthy to fast and electric, from preservation mode to innovation mode, from let's think about this carefully to wait, I just figured it out. And then at 8 at night, Mercury merges with Uranus at the exact same degree in Gemini, and that's when I believe the real magic happens, or maybe chaos. Honestly, it depends on how you navigate it. Because what you need to understand about Uranus is that it doesn't do subtle. Uranus is the planet of sudden awakening, revolutionary change, lightning bolt insights. It's the cosmic disruptor. And when it collides with Mercury, the planet that rules our thoughts, our communication, our daily mental processing, it's like your brain gets hit with a surge of electricity. Everything you thought you knew, suddenly questioned. Every limiting belief you've been carrying, suddenly shattered. Every conversation you've been avoiding, suddenly impossible to ignore. Your mind is about to get a hard reset. Okay, so let me tell you about the first breakthrough I think we're going to see tomorrow. And honestly, this one has been the most noticeable for me personally over the past few days. Your mind is about to experience what I can only describe as a hard reset. You know how sometimes your computer gets slow and glitchy, and the only way to fix it is to completely restart it? That's what's happening to our brains right now, and tomorrow is the moment the reset actually completes. Here's what I mean by that. For weeks, maybe even months, you might have felt mentally stuck, like you've been trying to solve a problem or make a decision, and no matter how much you think about it, you just can't see a way forward. You've been trapped in the same thought loops, the same limiting beliefs, the same old patterns of thinking that keep leading you back to the exact same place. Does that resonate? Because I've been there, and I really believe that tomorrow all of that gets blown wide open. The Mercury-Uranus conjunction is like a psychological lightning strike. It electrifies your nervous system. It forces your brain to make new connections it's never made before. Suddenly, the problem that seemed completely unsolvable. You see 3 different solutions. The creative block you've been struggling with, it just dissolves. The decision you've been agonizing over, crystal clear. And here's the wild part. This isn't going to feel like a gradual realization. It's going to feel sudden, instantaneous, like someone just flipped a switch in your head and suddenly everything makes sense. Some of you are going to wake up tomorrow morning and have a completely different perspective on something that's been weighing on you. Others are going to be in the middle of a conversation and suddenly say something so insightful that even you're surprised by it. You might be driving or in the shower or doing something completely mundane when, boom, this massive epiphany just downloads into your consciousness. Now, am I saying this is guaranteed to happen to everyone at the exact same moment? No, I can't promise that. But what I am saying is that the energy is there. The cosmic conditions are perfect for these kinds of breakthroughs. And if you've been feeling mentally foggy or stuck lately, tomorrow is when I believe that fog lifts. But this is important. This mental acceleration comes with a shadow side, because when your brain is moving this fast, when thoughts are coming this quickly, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed. Some people are going to experience this as anxiety. Others might feel scattered, like their attention is jumping from one thing to another without being able to focus. You might have trouble sleeping tomorrow night because your mind just won't turn off. And if that's you, I really want you to know you're not losing it. This is just your nervous system adjusting to a completely different frequency. The best thing you can do is find ways to ground yourself. Get outside, move your body, do something tactile and physical that brings you back into your body instead of staying stuck in your head. Because this breakthrough, it's not just about thinking faster, it's about thinking differently, and honestly, that leads directly into the second breakthrough I think we're going to see tomorrow. Technology and communication are about to take a massive leap forward. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting, and I've been paying close attention to this because I think the implications are huge. Tomorrow's alignment isn't just affecting us personally, it's affecting the collective. The way we communicate, the way we share information, the technology we use to connect with each other. All of it is about to shift in ways we might not see coming. Here's what you need to understand about Uranus in Gemini. The last time Uranus moved through this sign was from 1941 to 1949. And what happened during that time? Humanity experienced some of the most significant leaps in communication and technology we'd ever seen. Radar, early computers, cryptography, the ballpoint pen, believe it or not, the helicopter. All of these innovations completely changed how we transmitted information and moved through the world. And now, 84 years later, we're entering this cycle again. But this time, we're not dealing with ballpoint pens. We're dealing with artificial intelligence, quantum computing, brain-machine interfaces, totally decentralized digital networks. And tomorrow, I really believe tomorrow is the spark that ignites all of this, the moment when some of these technological advancements that have been developing in the background suddenly burst into public awareness. Don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow to news about some major breakthrough in AI or tech. Don't be shocked if there are sudden shifts in the markets or announcements from tech companies that nobody saw coming. Because that's what happens when Mercury and Uranus collide. The future arrives early. But here's the part I find most fascinating, and honestly, this was a big aha moment for me when I realized it. As all of this technology accelerates, as communication gets faster and more digital and more overwhelming, I think we're also going to see a counter-movement, a rebellion against all of it. Some people are going to respond to this overwhelming digital acceleration by completely unplugging. There's going to be this sudden, revolutionary embrace of analog everything, physical books instead of e-readers, handwritten letters instead of texts, face-to-face conversations instead of video calls, tactile real-world experiences instead of digital simulations. And I don't think this is about being anti-technology. I think this is about reclaiming autonomy, about recognizing that just because we can be connected 24/7 doesn't mean we should be. That maybe the most revolutionary thing you can do in a hyper-digital world is to be fully present in physical reality. So tomorrow, you might feel this pull in one of two directions. Either you're going to be energized by all the technological possibilities opening up, wanting to dive in and experiment and innovate, or you're going to feel this deep need to step back, to simplify, to return to slower and more intentional forms of connection. And here's what I want you to know. Both of those impulses are valid. Both are part of this breakthrough. The key is figuring out which one aligns with where you are right now and trusting that instinct. But there's still one more breakthrough coming tomorrow. And this is the one that's going to affect your relationships in ways you might not be prepared for. The truth is going to come out, whether you're ready or not. Okay, so remember at the beginning when I said there's something about this alignment that almost nobody is talking about? This is it. And I really need you to pay attention to this one, because it could completely change the trajectory of your most important relationships. Tomorrow, words are going to carry immense weight. The conversations you have on May 17th, or even in the days immediately following, are not going to be casual. They're going to be profound, life-altering, the kind of conversations you remember years from now as turning points. Why? Because Mercury rules communication and Uranus rules sudden revelation and truth. When they come together, they create this environment where it becomes almost impossible to hold back what you really think and feel. The filters come off. The social masks drop, and suddenly people are saying things they've been holding inside for months or even years. And here's where this gets intense. You might be the one who suddenly needs to speak your truth, or you might be on the receiving end of someone else's sudden honesty. Either way, these revelations are coming. For some people, this is going to be incredibly healing. You're finally going to have that conversation you've been avoiding. You're going to tell your partner what you really need. You're going to set boundaries with a friend or family member who's been crossing them. You're going to admit something about yourself that you've been too scared to acknowledge. And when you do, when you finally release that truth, it's like this massive weight lifts off your chest. The air clears. The relationship can finally move forward without all that unspoken tension weighing it down. But for others, these sudden revelations might feel more like disruptions. Someone might tell you something you weren't expecting to hear. A friend might confess they've been feeling disconnected. A partner might bring up concerns you didn't know existed. And in that moment, it's going to feel shocking, maybe even painful. But here's what I really want you to understand. Even if these truths feel uncomfortable, they're necessary, because what's being revealed tomorrow are things that have always been there, lurking beneath the surface. The conjunction isn't creating these issues, it's just illuminating them, making them impossible to ignore anymore. And actually, there's another layer to this that I think is so important. Tomorrow isn't just about individual relationships, it's also about your entire social network. Your broader circle of friends and connections. Have you noticed over the past few weeks that certain friendships just feel different, like you're growing in one direction and they're staying in the same place? Or maybe you've been feeling this magnetic pull toward new people, people who think differently, who challenge you, who operate on a totally different wavelength. That's not random. That's this energy at work, and tomorrow I believe that shift is going to become really obvious. You might find yourself naturally pulling away from people who no longer match where you're going, not because there's anything wrong with them, but because you're evolving, your frequency is changing, and the people who are aligned with the old version of you might not be aligned with this new version. And on the flip side, you might suddenly connect with someone new in a way that feels instant and electric, like you've known them forever even though you just met. That's Uranus in Gemini, forming unexpected connections, bringing together people who were always meant to find each other. So tomorrow, pay attention to who shows up in your life, pay attention to the conversations that happen, pay attention to who feels easy and who suddenly feels like effort. Because I really believe the universe is restructuring your social world right now, bringing in the people who belong in your next chapter and gently releasing the ones who don't. And if that feels scary or destabilizing, I get it. Change is hard, but here's what I keep coming back to. This is happening for you, not to you. The people and conversations meant for you will stay. Everything else? It was only ever temporary anyway. This applies to everyone, but some of you will feel it more intensely. Okay, so I want to be really clear about something. This Mercury-Uranus conjunction tomorrow is affecting everyone, the entire collective. We're all swimming in this electric breakthrough energy whether we realize it or not. But there are certain people who are going to feel this so much more intensely than others, and if you're one of them, you probably already know it because you've been feeling this building pressure for days now. If you have strong placements in Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius or Pisces in your birth chart, especially if any of those are your rising sign, this conjunction is hitting your chart directly. You're at the epicenter of the shockwave, and for you, this isn't just a temporary energy shift. This is the beginning of a 7-year cycle of massive transformation in really specific areas of your life. For Gemini, this is all about personal identity, who you are, how you present yourself to the world. Your entire sense of self is getting completely rewired tomorrow. You might look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back at you. Not because you physically changed, but because energetically you're becoming someone completely new. For Virgo, this is hitting your career and public reputation. Your professional life is about to take an unexpected turn. Maybe you've been playing it safe in your career, following a traditional path. Tomorrow could be the day you realize you need to pivot completely. Do something unconventional. Take a risk that terrifies you but also feels totally right. For Sagittarius, this is all about partnerships and one-on-one relationships. Your committed relationships, romantic or business, are about to go through a revolutionary phase. The way you relate to your partner, the dynamics you've established, the unspoken rules you've been following, all of it is up for renegotiation starting tomorrow. And for Pisces, this is hitting your home and family sector, your foundations, your roots. You might have sudden realizations about your childhood, your family dynamics, or what home even means to you. There could be unexpected changes in your living situation or sudden insights about ancestral patterns you've been unconsciously repeating. Now, even if none of those are your rising sign, you still have these signs somewhere in your chart, so somewhere in your life in some specific area, this breakthrough energy is hitting. And honestly, even if you've never looked at your birth chart, you don't need to know your exact placements to feel this. You'll know which area of your life is being activated because that's where the sudden shifts, insights and revelations are going to show up tomorrow. So how do you navigate this? Okay, so if all of this feels overwhelming, I completely understand. This is intense energy, the kind that can feel like too much if you don't know how to work with it. So let me give you some really practical advice for how to navigate tomorrow. First, stay flexible. This is not the day to cling to rigid plans or old ideas about how things should be. Mercury in Gemini wants adaptability. Uranus demands that you be open to the unexpected. If something changes last minute, if a plan falls through, if something completely surprising happens, roll with it. Don't fight it. The more you resist, the more chaotic this energy becomes. Second, pay attention to your thoughts. Tomorrow your mind is going to be moving fast, really fast, and in that speed you might have insights that seem to come out of nowhere. Don't dismiss them, write them down, voice memo yourself if you need to, because these sudden flashes of clarity, they're not random, they're downloads, and if you let them slip away, you might not get them back. Third, speak your truth, but do it consciously. Yes, this is a day for honesty and authentic communication, but that doesn't mean you should just blurt out whatever comes to mind without any filter. There's a difference between being honest and being reckless, so if you need to have a difficult conversation tomorrow, take a breath first, ground yourself, and then speak from a place of clarity rather than impulsiveness. And finally, protect your energy. Tomorrow is going to be electrically charged. There's going to be a lot of mental stimulation, a lot of information coming at you from all directions. If you start feeling overwhelmed, step away, turn off your phone, get into nature, do something that brings you back into your body. Because the breakthroughs are important, but so is your nervous system's ability to integrate them. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The energy that gets activated tomorrow is going to be with us for years, so you don't have to process everything in one day. Give yourself permission to take it slow even when the energy around you is moving fast. This is just the beginning. Here's what I want you to really hear as we wrap this up. Tomorrow, May 17th, is significant. It's powerful. It's the kind of cosmic moment that can genuinely change the direction of your life. But it's not an end point. It's a starting point. This Mercury-Uranus conjunction is the initial spark that's igniting a much larger 7-year cycle. We're entering an era where the way we think, communicate, and connect is going to be completely revolutionized. And tomorrow is just the first glimpse of what that's going to look like. So if the breakthroughs don't all happen tomorrow, if you don't wake up on May 18th feeling like your entire life has been transformed, that's okay. This energy is going to continue unfolding. New insights are going to keep coming. Unexpected shifts are going to keep happening. This is a process, not an event. But what I do think is going to happen tomorrow is that you're going to get a taste of it, a preview, a moment where you suddenly see the path forward in a way you couldn't see before, a conversation that shifts everything, a realization that changes your entire perspective, a decision that sets a new course. And when that happens, when you feel that breakthrough energy moving through you, I really want you to trust it. Don't second guess it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Because I genuinely believe these insights are coming from a deeper place than your everyday conscious mind. They're coming from your higher self, from the part of you that already knows the way forward. The universe is speaking to you tomorrow, loudly, clearly, and if you're paying attention, if you're open to receiving it, the message is going to come through. So stay present, stay curious, and stay open to the possibility that tomorrow could be the day everything changes. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you and you want more content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. And please, after tomorrow, come back and tell me what happened. Drop your experiences in the comments. What breakthroughs did you have? What shifted for you? What unexpected thing happened? I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to hear your stories. We're all navigating this together. Take care of yourself tomorrow, pay attention, and trust what comes through. I'll see you in the next one.